Hi guys, it's Dee and welcome back to the channel. This is another episode of Dee on the Streets, and as you can see, again, we are outside and we're here currently at Mega World Bacolod, and we are going to ask Filipinos themselves the question, what do you think is the most toxic Filipino trait? Not, the things that expats say or not the stereotypes. Let's hear it from the Filipinos themselves because, culture has their own strengths and weaknesses, but it's, I think, more valuable if it's Filipinos themselves that admit that we have this toxic trait. So, let's go. All right, so for tonight, we have here.
My name is Sav, 23 and single.
Hi, my name is Max, 23 and single.
Gindrits,
20,
19.
Kayla, 20. Crisel,
Single.
single.
Nang shy. Single.
Taken.
Judy Ann, 22 years old, single.
And Hanilin Biloria, 25, single.
Good evening, I am Patrick, 20, single.
I am Alexa Jane Tormon, 19, taken.
Hello, my name is Jam, 20 and single. Hello, I am Matea Febs Blayanes, 21.
I'm Tania, 23, and I'm single.
All right, so for our first question, what do you love most about being a Filipino?
I think for being optimistic.
Yeah, same. For being optimistic. Because all Filipinos, even though we go abroad, we bring this joy and the vibes that we can share to other, what do you call this?
Foreigners.
Foreigners, like that.
I think the culture and traditions of every Filipino people here. Yeah.
Right, what about you?
Same.
The same.
I think I love, as a Filipino, we are looking for a brighter side always, even if there's a lot of typhoons or problems that we are facing right now.
We tend to be optimistic. What I love most about being a Filipino is that their own hardships, their unique festivities, and delicious cuisine.
For me, the bayanihan spirit of a Filipino. We all know that Filipinos are known to be helping each other without hesitation, and also the adaptability of the people. Here, we all know also that Filipino is very hardworking people.
Well, being a Filipino, I think having the quality of hospitable. We Filipinos, we accommodate any foreign nationals. We and also not also the foreign nationals, but also to our neighbors. We cater them, we entertain them, and we serve them with love and heart. And I think being a Filipino is such a privilege and bugal and baka proud since any nationals or any foreigners visit gid sa Philippines because they love the Filipino people and also they love the food that we prepare.
What about you?
I agree with Patrick, and I think Filipino is very welcoming that even the foreigners, we can communicate with them, and I think that's it.
So for me, I agree with Patrick, and also for the tradition and culture that we have, it makes us Filipino unique, and that's all. Same as him, Ayambaya. So we are Filipinos. We are known for being a hospitable country.
What I love most about being a Filipino is that Filipinos know how to lighten up such experiences. For an instance, on the recent disasters or calamities, as you can see in social media, Filipinos are trying to offer their humor in this disaster. But we should remember, or we should always remind ourselves to draw the line between the humor and such experiences that disasters bringing to the Filipinos.
Right. And then for our next question, what Filipino trait are you most proud of?
For me, resilience or resiliency, because there's lots of disasters here happened in Philippines, but then we're trying, like Filipinos are trying to be they're trying to bounce back for what happened, like for the floods that happened here, and I think that's the proudest thing for being a Filipino.
Thank you. What about you?
For me, close family traits. That one thing that I'm being most proud of, because Filipinos are willing to sacrifice everything for their family, especially our OFWs, breadwinners. So we can do everything for our family.
I think being generous, since a lot of people, a lot of Filipino people are giving something to they love without hesitation, miss.
The most Filipino trait that I am so proud of is that we are helping each other, building funds such as for typhoons.
We
or
tend to help
each other, or kabayanihan, as
Right,
we
like
call it.
bayanihan.
The Filipino trait, what I am most proud of is that they are very hardworking people. And also, every city has its own unique delicacies.
Well, as I said earlier, Filipino are very hospitable and also very respectful, because not only they being respect to their parents, but also to their fellow Filipinos. And we, as I said earlier, we Filipinos are very accommodating, very welcoming to the others. And I think Filipino trait that I am very most proud of is being respectful and being hospitable.
So for me, being respectful also, that we and I think we should embody that, because this is show that we are the true Filipinos.
So as for me, the trait that I love being a Filipino is we smile in every challenges that we face. We remain positive and we look for the brighter side. That's it.
So as a Filipino, the trait that I am proud of is being we are resilient despite some mga problems we encounter every day.
What Filipino trait I'm most proud of is, of course, resilience, because I am doing this psychological first aid in communities affected of typhoons, and it's very evident that resilience is nature of being a Filipino, because with those experiences, those houses, and of course lives that were taken from them, still they have this hope that tomorrow will be better.
And what do you think is the most toxic trait of a Filipino? And with that being said, how do you think, or what do you think should we do to do away with that kind of toxic trait?
I think Filipino are not really hospitable, or it's not really applying for every Filipino. I think it's only for foreigners. Yeah, it's a selective thing. I think based on my experience, like it's just happened, or we can just apply it if it's like a different like a foreigner, a different race. I mean, Filipinos people also like will try to drag you down.
Right.
That's why I'm not really believing that all of us, like Filipinos, we are hospitable.
Right. So you think the most toxic trait of being a Filipino is the selective hospitality and crab mentality as well. What about you?
For me, number one in the line is crab mentality, because we Filipinos tend to bring each other down, and instead of supporting each other, especially if there's an opportunity, and instead of being supportive and being happy to our fellow Filipino, we tend to drag them down instead.
What do you think should we do as Filipinos to erase or do something to change these kinds of toxic traits as Filipinos?
I think we should be open for criticism. I think it's already 2026, so I think we should, especially those, for me, for elder people, think they should listen more to younger people, like younger generation. They should not base on their from the age. Yeah, I think we should be open more.
What about you?
For me, let's be more open. Same with her. Let's be more open and let's be more supportive, especially to our fellow Filipinos. Especially, we're all also in the same country. I think it's really time to change this mentality. Instead of pulling each other, we should lift up each other. Because at the end of the day, we're all the same human.
I think, pagiging chismosa, miss. When you chismis, it can affect other people's like mental health. Yeah.
And with gossip, since you don't like gossiping or chismis, what do you think should we do as Filipinos to do away with this kind of toxic trait?
I think we need to spread love lang, and we should not nang hindi tayo mag-overthink bala ng let's mind our own business lang, since wala ta kabalo kung ano ang mga gakagyan sang every person. Yeah.
I think right now in our generation, we tend to vote for a wrong leader just because they are highly named or highly valued, famous. Yes. I think we should always vote wisely and never go for the fame or such as named. And money. Yes, we're going to tend or search online about their backgrounds or their credentials.
The most toxic trait about being a Filipino is that they are lazy and also crab mentality.
Well, the Filipino time and also the extreme gossiping or chismis.
Right. You mentioned earlier that it was crab mentality and Filipinos being lazy, right? So, what do you think should we do as Filipinos to do away with this kind of trait?
So prevent having a crab mentality and always lift each other up for a brighter future.
Well, to prevent that kind of toxic traits of every Filipino, siguro we prevent lang yung pagchichismis or extreme gossiping with each other kasi nagkakos siya sa iba ng depression or stress. Alam naman natin yon. And about naman sa Filipino time, yeah, importante sa lahat yung time. Alam naman natin na time is gold, di ba? So, we practice be punctual na lang. So, every time na in work or school, we have to be, as soon as we can, we have to be early na lang. So, that's all.
The crab mentality? Well, I think so. Amo na siya.
For me, being late, because sometimes,
Filipino time.
yeah, Filipino time.
So I agree with Patrick, the crab mentality.
I agree with Alexa, since I myself always being late. That's all.
So, you two mentioned crab mentality, right? So, what do you think should we do to do away with this kind of toxic trait? What should we do to address crab mentality?
Well, ikaw first. You first.
So for me, to eradicate the crab mentality, I think we should support each other. Yes, that's what I think.
And yes, I agree. As I said earlier and Favs earlier, that we Filipino are very resilient, and I think supporting each other will lift us up to a brighter future, and it makes our world, the Philippines, to a better country.
That's very good. And as for the Filipino time, what do you think should we do as Filipinos to make ourselves better and eradicate Filipino time?
I think that we should prepare ahead or so to avoid the being late.
For me, to avoid the Philippine time, we should be responsible.
Additional lang kay Favs, and as she said, we Filipinos be mindful, be responsible of our actions, because some of our friends are still waiting if we Filipinos practicing the being late or such, or we call the Filipino time. So I think the treatment for that, we need to manage our time, be responsible, and be mindful to the others, because it's not all about ourselves, but also to the others. That's all.
The most toxic trait of a Filipino is the same as well. It's resilience. It's romanticizing resilience, because recently we have this senator in the Philippines that labeled today's youth as weak, and I saw it as romanticizing resilience that they are most proud of, that their generation do not cry.
Don't have depression.
Yeah, he really said that their generation hindi daw sila umiiyak, ganon. I know that they cried, but they do not know how or what to call or how to label their emotions. Of course, we should be open that yes, resilience is nature of being a Filipino, but we should as well know how to name our emotions, our feelings, our trauma, our experiences, because we know we will be able to heal from those trauma, from those experiences, if we will start accepting it, if we will start recognizing that we need healing and we need help from other people. Because to our senator, no, I will say that crying is not bad. Crying is a response of your body to the trauma that you are experiencing.
Alright, so that's it for this video, guys. I think personally for me it was refreshing to hear from Filipinos, how they acknowledged the positives about our culture and our traditions, and also admit and acknowledge the negatives and the toxic traits of the Filipino culture, and also provide, something to address it or how to do away with it. So I'm curious. What do you think is the most toxic trait of Filipinos, and how do you think should we address it? And especially for those expats who have lived here in the Philippines. I know you've seen a lot of things here in the Philippines, the good, the bad, the uncomfortable, and I'd like to hear them from you, and you may leave them in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Dee, and see you on my next video. Bye!